The lone arrival. The galaxy was never quiet. Trade ships moved between stars, war fleets patrolled borders, and pirate hunters roamed the dark lanes. But on this day, silence spread across the void when a single signal appeared. One ship. Human. First, the Council dismissed it as nothing. Reports said it was not a fleet, not an invasion, just a lone vessel sliding out of the black. But still, every listening post turned toward it. The ship's size was strange, larger than a freighter, smaller than a dreadnought. Its hull was scarred, black steel patched with silver plates as if it had survived battles long forgotten. The aliens laughed. This is their answer? A Krell warlord sneered at the council chamber. One human ship? Across the chamber, other species joined in the mockery. The Trin spread their wings and hissed with joy. The Valan tapped their claws on the table, amusement glittering in their eyes. For 100 years, humans had been quiet. They traded little, spoke less, and kept to their corner of the galaxy. Other species thought humanity was weak, backward, not worth attention. The Council had long declared Earth a minor world, not dangerous, not relevant. But still, this ship came, and it did not hide. Instead of staying silent, the human vessel broadcast an open signal across the stars. Not words, not a demand. Just a simple pulse, steady, strong like a heartbeat. Every station caught it, every translator tried to decode it. No one could. It was not language. It was warning. The scouts were the first to approach. Small cruisers, sharp and fast, darted toward the human ship. They wanted to prove it was harmless, a toy, a shadow of a forgotten power. Their commanders sent messages full of pride. We will seize it. We will show the humans their place. But the ship did not move. It hung there, black against the stars, waiting. Inside the council chamber, debates roared. Some demanded to destroy it now. Others wanted to study it. A few whispered that something felt wrong. The whispers grew when the first scouts disappeared. No alarms, no explosions, just silence. Their signals cut off in the middle of laughter. The human ship did not fire a weapon, not one beam of light or torpedo. Yet the scouts were gone. The council grew uneasy. Perhaps they hit a mine, one suggested. Perhaps they fled, another said. But deep down, every leader felt the same cold truth. The scouts had not fled. They had been taken. Still, the council laughed again. One ship cannot fight a fleet. We will crush it. A fleet was assembled, 50 ships from 20 worlds. Warships heavy with cannons, frigates armed with missiles, destroyers ready for battle. They surrounded the UI, human vessel. Thousands of alien eyes watched from stations, colonies, and hidden corners of the galaxy. This would be easy, but the human ship moved. Slowly, its hull shifted. Panels opened, not like weapons, but like scars peeling back. A low hum filled the void, shaking comms and sensors. The fleet's targeting systems failed. Radar screamed. Translators went silent. For one moment, every ship in orbit felt the same fear. Something ancient had awakened. And then the human vessel spoke. Not in alien tongues, not in code, but in a voice older than the stars. Remember us. Those were the only words. Then came the light. The galaxy had seen weapons before, lasers, plasma, dark matter bombs. But this was not the same. The human ship fired a single blast, and half the fleet vanished. Not burned, not broken, gone, as if erased from reality. The survivors screamed across channels, begging for retreat, for help, for mercy, but the council watched in silence. They could not believe what they saw. One human ship, one strike. Half a fleet gone. And the ship still stood, its black hull gleaming against the void, pulsing with that steady, dreadful heartbeat. The laughter in the chamber ended. The fear began. Across the galaxy, people whispered. What power was this? What kind of weapon could erase ships without trace? And if this was only one ship, How many more did the humans keep hidden? The council tried to calm the panic. They said it was a trick, a lucky strike, nothing more. But the galaxy knew the truth. Something terrible had returned. The humans had sent only one ship, and already, the galaxy would never forget. The mocking council. The chamber of the Galactic Council was built to inspire awe. Its dome stretched high above the gathered leaders, its walls glowing with the shifting lights of distant stars. Here, empires decided wars, signed treaties, and passed judgment on species too weak to defend themselves. And now, all attention was fixed on one subject: a single human ship. The image of the vessel floated above the central platform, projected by holographic arrays. It looked unimpressive compared to the dreadnoughts of the Valen or the battle cruisers of the Krell. No elegant design, no polished surface, just a black scarred mass of steel. "This is a threat?" scoffed Chancellor Merrick of the Trin, wings rustling in disdain. "It looks like a scrap hauler." Laughter filled the chamber. The representatives of minor worlds joined in quickly, eager to echo their superiors. For a moment the hall was nothing but mocking voices, sharp and cruel. But not everyone laughed. Ambassador Kale of the Drath Union leaned forward, her silver eyes fixed on the ship's projection. "You saw what it did," she said, her voice low but cutting. "Half a fleet vanished in one strike. Are you all blind?" "It was luck," Merrick snapped back. "Some experimental weapon, unstable. If they had more ships like this, they would have shown them already. Instead, they send 1-1. He spread his wings wide, as if the very thought was beneath him. Others agreed. They argued that humanity was desperate, showing off their last relic to frighten the galaxy. "A scare tactic," said the Valen warlord. "Nothing more." Still, unease lingered. The council chamber grew louder, voices overlapping, claws tapping, wings flaring. Some demanded the humans be crushed before their weapon could be used again. Others wanted to capture the ship, to strip it apart, and learn its secrets. A few, too few, urged caution. High Speaker Torval, the massive three-eyed leader of the council, finally raised his voice. "Silence." The chamber obeyed. "We are not children, to be frightened by shadows," Torval rumbled. "This is one ship. One ship does not win wars. We will study it, test it, and when we know its trick, we will destroy it. The galaxy must not fear humans again." The words brought nods, some relieved, some eager. But Kale's gaze never left the image of the ship. Her people had lived near human borders. She had heard stories, the kind whispered in the dark, tales of battles long past. Ships burned by weapons no one understood. Colonies erased from maps. And always, always, the humans stayed silent afterward, never boasting, never explaining. "Be careful," she whispered to herself. One ship may be all they need, but the council was already moving forward. Orders were drafted. A larger fleet would be sent, not scouts this time, but warships from across the galaxy. 50 had fallen. Now they would send 200. The chamber echoed with arrogance. Let them see true power. Let the humans crawl back to their Earth. Let the galaxy remember who rules these stars. Yet in the corner of the chamber, an old Valen historian muttered words no one cared to hear. "You do not mock a storm," he said softly. "You do not laugh at fire, and you do not laugh at humanity." No one listened. The council prepared for war, blind to the truth standing right before them. In the depths of space, the lone human ship remained where it was, unmoving, silent. Its black hull reflected no light. Its steady pulse continued, beat after beat, a sound that felt more like a warning than a weapon. And though the council dismissed it as nothing more than arrogance, across the galaxy, ordinary people felt something else. Miners, traders, farmers, children, those who had no seat in the council. They heard the stories spreading on every channel. They saw the terrified faces of the few fleet survivors who spoke of ships erased without a trace. Fear was growing, not fear of war, fear of humanity. And as the council laughed, prepared, and mocked, the human ship simply waited. Waited for the galaxy to make its next mistake. First strike, the fleet was ready. 200 warships gathered at the edge of the sector, their hulls glinting in the light of a red star. Cruisers, destroyers, carriers, every empire had sent their best. Engines hummed, shields flared, weapons locked. The sky itself seemed to shake under their power. At the center of their formation, a massive dreadnought drifted like a mountain in space. Its captain, Lord Commander Varath, stood tall before his officers. His voice carried across the comms. "Today we show the humans their place. Today we erase this insult from our galaxy." The officers saluted. Confidence filled the fleet. After all, what was one ship against 200? The human vessel hung, alone in the darkness, silent as stone. Its black hull gleamed faintly, that strange pulse still echoing across comms. Beat. 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 The alien fleet advanced. "Target locked," reported one commander. "Begin strike formation," Varath ordered. The first wave of weapons lit up the void. Plasma torpedoes streaked forward. Missiles followed. Beams of pure energy lanced through the dark. The barrage filled space with fire, drowning the human ship in explosions. For a moment, the void was nothing but light and fury. When it cleared, silence followed. The ship still floated there, untouched, not a single scratch. Shock rippled through the fleet. Sensors showed the impossible. Every missile had vanished mid-flight, every beam bent away, every torpedo dissolved before impact. "Shields," one officer whispered. "No," another muttered. "Something else." Before fear could settle, the human ship moved. It was slow, deliberate, almost lazy. Panels shifted, glowing cracks spread across its hull like veins of fire. Then came the sound. A low hum, deeper than any engine, rolling across comms and through the bones of every crew member. Heartbeats faltered. Some officers clutched their heads, and then it struck. A single beam, thin, bright, silent. It cut through space like a blade through water. The first alien battleship it touched did not explode. It unraveled. Its hull turned to dust, its crew erased before they could scream. The beam passed on, slicing through 5 more ships before fading into the void. 6 ships gone, 1 shot. Panic surged through the fleet. Evasive maneuvers. "Fire everything! Keep distance, keep distance." But distance meant nothing. The human ship fired again. Another beam, another line of vanishing vessels. The galaxy had seen death in many forms. Explosions, fire, wreckage. But this was worse. These ships left nothing behind. No wrecks, no signals. As if they had never existed at all. The fleet began to break. Some commanders fled without orders, engines burning hot as they tried to escape. Others continued firing, desperate, hopeless. Their weapons struck nothing. The human ship's strange pulse grew louder, shaking their hearts, rattling their ships. Inside the dreadnought, Varath tried to hold order. "Stand your ground," he roared. "It is only one ship." But even as he shouted, a light fell across his bridge. His crew turned, faces pale. Through the viewport, the human vessel loomed closer, impossibly fast. Its black hull filled their vision, scarred steel glowing with hidden fire. "Lord Commander," one officer whispered. "It's looking at us." The hum rose into a scream. The dreadnought shook. Lights flickered. Then silence fell. Varath opened his mouth to give one last command, but the dreadnought was gone. The fleet scattered in terror. Dozens of ships fled into hyperspace. Others shut down weapons, begging for mercy over comms. But the human vessel gave no answer. It simply drifted back into silence, its pulse steady, steady, steady. Across the galaxy, the story spread like wildfire. 200 ships sent. 1 ship returned, the human ship. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy remembered how fragile it truly was. The hidden power. The galaxy trembled. News of the battle spread faster than any fleet. In the great markets, traders whispered of 200 ships that never returned. On mining stations, workers spoke of the beam that erased vessels without wreckage. Children played the human ship in the alleys, pretending to vanish there, friends with an invisible weapon. The council tried to control the story. They said it was lies, exaggeration, panic. But even they could not hide the truth. Whole fleets were gone, erased by a single vessel. And so, questions began. What was this ship? What was its power? And most dangerous of all, was it alone? The council summoned its greatest scientists. They gathered the most advanced scanners, sent spies and drones to shadow the human vessel. The drones never returned. The scientists argued for weeks. Some believed the ship used ancient weapons older than any empire. Others claimed it was built with stolen alien technology. A few, the most fearful, whispered it was not a ship at all but something alive, something that had worn steel as armor. Still, the council demanded answers. Every weapon has a weakness, Speaker Torvald growled. Find it. Yet every test ended the same. Signals were swallowed. Probes vanished. Even shadows of data came back broken, corrupted, like the ship itself rejected being studied. Meanwhile, the human vessel waited. It did not move from its place. It did not chase. Did not attack. It simply remained pulsing with that steady heartbeat, as if daring the galaxy to come closer. Fear grew stronger. Across colonies, people whispered that this ship was not Earth's first weapon, only its warning. Old records surfaced, long buried. Reports from forgotten wars. Battles where human fleets had vanished only to return with weapons no one understood. Wars where humans fought against odds that should have crushed them, and yet somehow survived. And in every story, one detail remained the same. Humanity never revealed the full extent of its power. Ambassador Kale studied these reports in silence. She read testimonies from survivors, fragments of transmissions, files marked forbidden even within her own union. One phrase repeated again and again: the humans don't fight to win, they fight to end it. The thought chilled her. In the council chamber, the leaders still mocked, still debated, still laughed at the idea of fearing one species from a minor world. But Kale saw the truth in the silence between their words. The laughter had grown thin. Their arrogance cracked a little more each day. Finally, a new plan was made. Not another fleet, not another war.
Instead, they would attempt capture. A task force of elite hunters, ships designed not to fight but to trap. They would surround the vessel, cut off its movement, drag it back to the council. If we hold it, Torvald declared, we hold humanity's
secret. The galaxy prepared to watch again. As the hunters approached, their ships spread wide, weaving nets of gravity fields and energy barriers. Carefully, cautiously, they closed in on the human vessel. It remained still, almost patient, as if curious about their attempt. Then, the hum returned. The hunters froze. Their ships shook, not from attack, but from something inside them. Lights flickered, weapons shut down, engines faltered. Crew members screamed as their hearts raced out of rhythm, their minds filled with strange echoes. On every screen inside those ships, a single message appeared. Not in alien script, not in code. In perfect, simple language, you cannot take what is not yours. One by one, the hunter ships collapsed. Their fields dissolved, their nets unraveled. Some drifted powerless into the void, others vanished without trace. Only a handful escaped, engines burning with terror. The human vessel pulsed once more. Beat, 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 and then it went silent again. The council tried to spin the disaster as a minor setback. They declared the hunters unworthy, the plan flawed. But the truth could not be denied. This was not just a weapon. This was something beyond their understanding. Across the galaxy, fear became certainty. The humans had shown only a glimpse of their strength. And if one ship could do this, how many more waited in the shadows of Earth? Kale sat alone in her chambers, staring at the reports. Her hands shook as she whispered the words she had once spoken only to herself. One ship may be all they need. Fear spreads across the stars. The galaxy could no longer pretend. What had once been laughter was now silence. What had once been mockery was now whispers in the dark. Every star system, every colony, every world spoke of only one thing: the human ship. Merchants carried the tales between ports. Soldiers repeated them in hushed voices in the barracks. Even children played games in the streets, one pretending to be the human ship, the others pretending to flee. Everywhere the story grew larger. One ship had erased 200. One ship had defeated hunters designed to capture the deadliest prey. One ship had spoken across the void with words that made empires tremble. And the most terrifying rumor of all. What if this was not the only one? Across alien networks, unverified reports appeared. Miners swore they saw strange human signals in empty systems. Traders claimed black silhouettes followed them in deep space. Pirates abandoned their routes. Near Earth, terrified of shadows that never showed up on scanners, the Council tried to crush the rumors. They declared the sightings false, the stories exaggerated. They called the ship an isolated threat and promised control. But the more they spoke, the less anyone believed them. Fear was faster than truth. Even among Council members, cracks appeared. Some demanded peace with humanity, begging to open talks before it was too late. Others wanted total war, convinced that if they struck Earth fast enough, they could destroy humanity before more ships appeared. Ambassador Kale watched the arguments with growing despair. She could see the truth in every report, every panicked voice. Fear was spreading faster than fleets could move. It was no longer a question of control,